I want to go back to 2010. Do you recall where you were interviewed by the Gwinnett County Police Department in regard to an issue with Imani?
Yes.
Tell the jury how you found out about that and how that happened.
I was at work and I get a phone call from I think a detective. I can't remember her name, but I know I got a phone call from a detective saying I had to come to the police station. They didn't tell me what. They just said I needed an emergency. I think pertaining to your child. So I just left work, let my manager know, and I just hopped in the car and just drove all the way down there.
Right. While you were at the police department, did you find out that your wife had been accused of beating your child?
Yes, when I got down there.
Right. And did you give a statement to the police in that regard?
Yes, I spoke with the detective.
And did you become aware that she was eventually arrested?
Yes, she got arrested there.
And do you know whatever happened with that case?
She took a plea of probation, 5 years to my knowledge.
Tell me what life was like after that at your house.
It was rough.
Was Tiffany allowed to work as a teacher after that?
No.
Did Tiffany ever work after 2010?
No.
So what did she do?
Stayed at the house.
Stayed at Pearlie's house?
Yeah. Wherever we were living, she stayed at the house.
Right. Did you feel like her job at that point was to take care of the kids?
Yes.
During the time you were at Pearlie's house, did you ever see any issues with Imani in terms of her weight or?
No.
Did you ever see any problems between Imani and Tiffany while you were at Pearlie's?
Yes.
Tell me about those.
Ever since going back to 2010, ever since then it was like a love-hate relationship.
Tell me, explain to the jury what you mean by a love-hate relationship.
You know, her and Ronnie was like it was always something. They couldn't get along.
Did you ever know of Tiffany from 2010, after 2010, to discipline Imani?
No, not until that incident.
All right. I want to ask you, when I say discipline,
Okay.
Discipline a child, what does that mean to you?
At that time, spanking.
But are there other ways to discipline children?
Yes.
Is sending to bed without their supper a way of disciplining a child?
No, that's not.
Is putting them in a corner and putting them in timeout a discipline for a child?
Yes.
So you said that when you said that Tiffany didn't discipline Imani, are you aware of whether or not she used any of the other things other than a spanking to correct her behavior?
Yes, she's, let me go back. When we had the incident where she spanked Imani in 2010, we had to take a class. I took it called the Fatherhood Program, and I think she had to take anger management, and then we had in-home counseling. Because at the time, I was not aware of the other form of discipline, because, you know, I grew up from the old school. You know, you got a spanking, and that was it.
So you learned about other forms of discipline.
But at the time I didn't know, but you know, spanking and.
So after 2010, did you decide that you were going to use the other forms of discipline other than spanking?
Yes.
And do you know whether or not Tiffany did that too?
Yes, best of my knowledge, I think she did.
All right. And so you moved in the summer, did you say in September of 2013?
Yeah.
To the apartment?
Yes, sir.
Where did you live? Did you ever live with your mother?
Yes, that was, you talking about me and Tiffany or just?
You and Tiffany and the children?
No, sir.
Not, the three of you didn't live there?
No.
Did Imani ever live with your mother?
Yes, during the incident in 2010.
And after that, was Imani placed with your mother?
No, sir.
Well, how did she end up over there then?
You said at my mom's house?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, actually, in 2010, we had the spanking incident. Tiffany spanked Imani. She had whips and stuff all on her arms and back, I think legs, a belt whip.
okay. But the question was, how did she end up staying at your mother's house after?
Defects. We moved out of our home and put it with grandma.
And how long did she live with grandma after the 2010 incident?
I want to say 6 months.
Did you or Tiffany ever did you go to court to get her back, or were you just allowed to by defects?
No, I had to go, it was required for me to, it was required for Tiffany to take anger management and in-home counseling. The other program was volunteer. I didn't have to do it, I just did it.
The one that you talked about, the dad's class,
yeah.
all right? And so after you completed that, were you allowed to get Imani back?
Yeah, after several supervised visits.
Did you ever talk to your mom about Imani staying with her?
Yes, I have.
And how did you feel about that?
I didn't really mind.
All right. But I'm talking about after 2010, did your mom ever ask for Imani to come and live with her?
Yes, she have.
And what did you say to that?
In my pride, I said I was trying to prove something to my mom that I can do it, and I said no.
Right. And so you got Imani back when?
I got it back in 2010.
Right. And so did she move with you from Pearlie's house to the Veranda Chase apartment?
Yes.
At the apartment, did she have her own room?
Yes, she did.
Now, tell me about your work situation when you moved into the Veranda.